Welcome to the Brewing Wellness Podcast, nourishing UFT members, one conversation at a time. Brewing Wellness is a podcast created by the UFT Member Assistance Program to support the mental health and well-being of our members. In order to do the work you do every day and be present for your loved ones, students, and patients, your cup has to be full. Brewing Wellness focuses on mental health and wellness topics that can help us all thrive in our professional and personal lives. We'll be releasing a new episode on the last Monday of each month. Remember to listen to the Brewing Wellness Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And please, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's get started.
Hey, welcome to Season 6 of the Brewing Wellness Podcast, hosted by the UFT Member Assistance Program. My name is Dana, and I'm the UFT District Representative for District 11 in the Bronx. Today, I'm joined by Jessica, licensed social worker and counselor with the UFT's Victim Support Program. So fall is finally upon us. The weather gets colder, the days get shorter and darker, and we all are dealing with a variety of transitions. As we're all settling into a new school year, many transitions happen. The weather changes, the clock moves forward with daylight getting shorter, which I hate. People leave old jobs and get into new ones. Others move geographically, and all of this impacts many people physically, emotionally, and of course, mentally. These transitions can be hard and uncomfortable, but today we want to talk about these things, what they can be like, validate our feelings, and discuss ways we all can cope. So Jess, before we even start, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for the UFT for those who might be listening and not know?
Sure. Hey, Dana. So I'm a crisis counselor for the Victim Support Program with the UFT. And basically what we do is when there's a school crisis, something that happens big in the school buildings, a student death or a teacher death, my department will send one of us out to kind of go and give grief counseling or crisis counseling support just to make sure staff is feeling okay and help them kind of transition back into the classroom after the big crisis happens.
Oh my goodness, I got it. So Jess, as a counselor for the VSP, I'm sure you see a lot of people coping with a number of transitions. What are the most common difficulties that you think people have when it comes to transitioning into a new season, especially going from summer break into the new school year? Because I know for myself, that alarm is going off way too early in the morning, and I'm having trouble with that. And, going from summer to school now, I like to be free in the summer. I like to gallivant. I like to meet friends, just on the spur of a moment. And now that the new school year is here, the schedule doesn't allow that so much.
No, it doesn't. Well, I see a lot of different transitions, right? So I see transitions at the end of the school year where in the summertime, we are so used to having the structure and routine of the school year that even I say it takes me a good 2 weeks to unwind during the summer where I am like, oh my gosh, there's not a crisis happening. I don't have to pick up my phone. I don't have to go to a school. So it takes me a good 2 weeks to kind of settle into the fact that it is summer. So that's a transition right there.
Definitely.
And then by the time I'm like fully in the swing of summer, it's already back time for work.
It's time to get back.
And listen, I do not follow a bedtime routine as much as I try during the summer. So for me, getting back to an alarm going off and, feeding my dog at 5:30 a.m. and not 7, right? And so those are the hard transitions for me. And so
I think for a lot of us.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
for a lot of us, definitely.
Especially for us teachers that have kids at home, that's definitely a difficult one. And
they're feeling those bedtime transitions for sure.
You have to get the little ones in bed early and you have to get them up early too, And my most dreaded one is traffic, is going back.
We definitely have to allow time for that back to school traffic.
Yes.
I know. This morning alone, the commute has gotten long, and hopefully it'll die down soon and we'll get back to some normalcy, I guess. But
I'm hoping so.
So with all those difficulties and changes that come along with the new season, how can people best cope with those changes? I know for me, it's the weather change. I love the warm weather. I mean, not a fan of boots and sweaters. I mean, if you know me, I don't know if I own a sweater, right? I'm a short sleeve kind of girl and just layer. I don't wear a winter coat. I wear a vest.
Neither do I.
I don't want to accept that cold weather. So for some people, it could be a downer. And I know about the getting dark much sooner. That is very depressing for most people.
Yeah.
For most people. So, you go to work and, the sun is out and you leave and it's pitch black. And it's like time for bed.
Yeah.
So that's a rough one.
I think that's one of my hardest transitions is the getting dark early. And I hate when I watch the news and it's like sunset. This is the last sunset you're going to see at 8 p.m.
Oh,
I don't want to hear that.
I don't either.
I want to be able to go and do my hot girl walk with my dog in the park and there's still plenty of light out. And now it's getting darker a little bit early, so you transition a little bit to what that, but you just don't stop what you're doing. I will not, that's part of one of my self-care things, and I will not stop going out and giving him the walk. And, even when it's dark, it's hard, but honestly, you find some peace in walking in the dark because now the park is not so crowded and we kind of have space to ourselves. And
I know you mentioned the, embracing the pumpkin spice. Right, because they put that down on you see that on all social media pretty quick this summer.
I know, it started in August.
But I think what helps me cope is the excitement for the holidays.
Absolutely.
Decorating the house, maybe a little fireplace.
Yeah.
And you said about those nice candles.
Yes.
Right, getting those candles and but preparing for the holidays, and that's a great time where, once again, I'm going to get together with friends and family.
Yes.
And everyone gets to, move away from the jobs and back to, and have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, before you know it, it'll be Halloween, and that's really nice. You get to see all the decorations and nothing like a pumpkin everywhere and carving a pumpkin and kind of doing that. And then next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that brings you a lot of joy. That adds to the coziness of the season. It does. But if you notice you're feeling down or often, or it's hard to get it together, maybe you're not sleeping or eating well, or you can't find joy the way you used to, seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. And it just doesn't affect one particular group of people. It affects teachers, parents, students, childcare workers, nurses. It really affects anyone. It gets very hard when the days are getting shorter and the dark creeps in earlier, right? And so I just want you to know that there are things you can do and you should do, right? So reach out to your healthcare provider. Let them know the things that you feel are going on for you. But also remember, right, very important, that UFT MAP is here to support with our 24/7 mental health helpline. It is a dedicated helpline that can be called when you are feeling lost or hopeless, if you're having thoughts of self-harm, if you are in a crisis and need immediate help. Sometimes we're feeling anxious or angry, and in that moment, we really need somebody to help us de-escalate. That's what this hotline is for. Even if you're coping with some sort of loss, especially around the holidays, that is a big one. We have loss, and it impacts us greatly, and we start to think about things around the holidays. We have dedicated counselors that are available to provide emotional and counseling support and crisis intervention during an emergency. And guys, it's 24/7, right? And so they will also give referrals to care. And I find it to be very helpful, very useful, a great resource. The phone number, in case anyone doesn't know it, is 1-866-UFT-FOR, the letter U. Store it in your cell phones. It's also 1-866-838-3678. Text and chat is also available on the UFT website. If you feel like you're more comfortable texting and chatting than picking up the phone and making a call, that's also available on the UFT website.
And I know plenty of my members have let me know that they've used that hotline.
Yeah, it's a
and
great
what
resource.
a great resource it is, and most of all, that it's confidential.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are afraid, hesitant to call sometimes because they're afraid other people might know.
Right.
But it's completely confidential, and I've only heard great things about it.
Yes, and the staff is MAP trained, and they're all clinicians. So there is this constant flow of communication between their staff and us, and so we know what's going on, right? And it's no one here is ever left behind.
Excellent, Jess. Thank you. And, of course, seasonal changes aren't all bad. So what are some positive things associated with seasonal changes? and some ways maybe our members can lean into the positive aspects of change. Because we always think about the negative, but there are definitely positive.
Yeah, for sure there is. And, as a self-proclaimed summer lover, I'm born in the summer. I'm a summer baby. I love the heat. I am a fiery Leo, right? Fall and winter is definitely hard for me, but it also can be super fun, right? So think of it as a time to do a check-in with yourself. See if there's any new goals that you want to set for the upcoming school year or season. It's also a nice time to reflect on progress and growth that you've had, and really look at yourself and give yourself credit for all of the things that you've accomplished. Fall has also so many fun outdoor activities to do. We got pumpkin picking, we have apple picking, we have a hayride and a haunted corn maze and Halloween events and just so many things that you get to do in the fall. The weather is nicer, it is cooler, it is crisper out, and winter has fun things too. The cool and the cold weather, they really have a way of making us feel cozy, and we start to slow down and settle into fall and winter candle scents, fuzzy socks, warm food, and everything right now is pumpkin spiced, and overindulging in treats is super acceptable. So, fall does have, and winter has definitely its benefits.
Listen, I'm a summer girl too, but you kind of got me a little excited for the fall and winter.
Pumpkin spiced everything.
That's for sure. So, Jessica, I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope that you stay warm, the hot summer baby.
I know,
this
for
fall
sure.
season. And I want to thank you for all that you do for our members and your wonderful insight today.
No, thank you, Dana. Cozy socks for everybody.
Cozy socks for everyone. I love it.
Once again, thank you for joining us for this episode of the Brewing Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the UFT Member Assistance Program to support the mental health and well-being of our members. If you are a UFT member, the Member Assistance Program can be reached at 212-701-9620 or by emailing mapinfo@uft.org. And once again, please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.